Everyone, and welcome back to Neurodiverse Best SS. I'm your host, John Arroyo. Boy, was NXT Homecoming crazy, guys. We had returns like no tomorrow. We had some surprise returns. We had some killer matches. So let's get right into it. So we kicked things off with Triple H returning to full style and talking about NXT and how it was black and gold. Then it went to 2.0. Now it's white and silver. Pretty much talking about how it started as a dream and now is the future of wrestling. Then Shawn Michaels shows up and has a little bit of a crackback for him, saying that, well, Triple H did the foundation, but he helped grow it. Then we get the Honor General Manager, William Regal, coming out saying, well, if you guys can't settle it, then War Games. I loved it. But then Charlotte and Alexa came out saying that the men delivered, but the woman take over. You're like, see, it's a lot of puns going on tonight. And they say how the women's division has been thriving, and they name every NXT woman champion through Asuka, Shayna Baszler, Amber Moon, the Four Horsewomen, naming almost every single NXT champion. I loved it. And then it led into the match. So the first match of the night was Charlotte and Alexa Bliss versus Tatum Paxley and Izzy Dame. And it was a heavy opener. Charlotte and Izzy Dame was throwing chops. Tatum Paxley went all wild on Alexa, and Alexa went wild on her. But Alexa hits the sister Abigail on Tatum for the win. Great energy, hot crowd, perfect way to start the show. And then backstage, we see Soulvuka and Zoria talking about how they could have won the women's championship, but due to that incident last week, then Lainey Reed and Candice LeRae talking about next week how if any one of them wins, they're going to take the one and only Speed Championship. And then, guys, we get Shayna effing Baszler. Shayna Mother Baszler is back, y'all. And I was like, oh my God, Shayna Baszler. And she literally comes just to tell Zoria and Soul to make up and deal with their friendship because she had former friendships and they went down the toilet. She kind of referenced her friendship with the Four Horsewomen of MMA and also Nia Jax. It was weird. It was kind of fun. And she kind of stares at Soul's title. So hopefully Shayna is back in WWE, like, for good, hopefully. And then we get the generational tag team matchup, DIY versus Trick and Melo. And y'all, this match stole the show for me. Johnny and Melo started out with crisp, high flyer moves, and then it turned into chaos. Trick and Ciampa did some really good back and forth. This killer, like, springboard move to the outside from Johnny and Melo, like, back and forth. But Trick almost hits Melo. Drama's brewing. But then the Miz shows up, takes out Johnny Gargano with a skull-crushing finale for Melo to hit a killer slam dunk kick from the top rope for the win. Drama, and it builds up because Trick does not trust Melo. And the Miz is involved. So let's see how that all turns out. And then backstage, we had Sami Zayn, the U.S. champion, say he noticed someone that kind of reminds her of him, Javon Evans. And then Josh Briggs says, hell no. And they get into an argument. And Javon comes in. Evans and Briggs fight. Sami Zayn breaks it up. And Sami tells Evans he needs to be the big underdog like how he was. And really building it up. And I liked it. We're seeing a couple people kind of build up the newer stars. And then we get the North American Championship match. And I'm going to say it was fashion, diva, egos all around. So we had Ethan Page and Tyler Breeze. Prince Pretty's back, and he came back like he never left. Selfie stick, slick hair, great throwback to NXT. The match Ethan was great. It was one spot where Ethan does Tyler Breeze moves on the ropes, like the pose. I loved it. It was really good back and forth. Tyler Breeze was using his, like, wrestling skill background mostly in, like, speed wrestling, while Ethan Page was doing more technical. I really liked it. Some crazy moves, like near on the outside, this crazy bomb. It looked pretty brutal. But at the end, Ethan picks up the win. But Dr. Wagner Jr. from AAA from Warts Glide, I told you guys, the storyline ain't done. He was watching it. So let's see how this all goes. Maybe the next Warts Glide or next AAA and WWE pay-per-view. I mean, live event, we're going to have Ethan and Wagner. I will love it. And then we get the Grayson Waller effect. And boy, was it messy. Oba trashed Ricky, saying that he's just waiting to call him up. Ricky fired back with all the passion. but then got denied. Then Trick came out saying Oba's holding the title. Waller, of course, stirring the pot, suggests a champion versus championship match next week. Oba and Trick, and then Ricky and No Mercy will have the big fight. So pretty much we're going to get this triple threat more down the line. We're going to get a champion versus championship match first, but that is going to lead maybe into a triple threat, and I love it. Then we get two of my favorite segments of the night, okay? So we had Shirley Dempsey and Ren Sinclair talking backstage, when out of nowhere we hear the glorious thing. Guys, Bobby Roode shows up out of nowhere, glorious. And he talks about how he was in NXT and TNA, and you know what that means. Out of nowhere, Joe Hendry pops up. They talk about future endeavors. They kind of stir the pot with each other, kind of talking about each other history in TNA. They never wrestled, but like the history of both of them being in TNA. If we're gonna get Roode and Hendry in a match, I will love it. And then Lexus King was trashing the old days of NXT, but then Myers Bourne came out to attack him. And then out of nowhere, Finn Bálor came with the classic theme music to help Myers take out Lexus King. Celebrating. It was fun, it was nuts, and I loved this moment. And then we had the main event. So we had Stephanie Vaquer Lyra Valkyria because Tiffany Stratton broke her leg. Rhea Ripley versus Fatal Influence. This 6-woman tag team match was too close to call. Both teams was great. They all delivered. Fatal Influence worked live work, but then Vaquer and Ripley came in like wrecking balls with a devil's kiss and then a riptide for the win. Crowd loved it. It went crazy every second. And I loved how it closed Homecoming. But after, we see this conversation going on with Eva, William Regal, Oba Femi, and Trick Williams. Something is brewing. They saying like, I don't know, Trick says this is just the beginning. Oba says, bring on whatever you have going. Are we gonna get an invasion storyline? Guys, they've been teasing this TNA NXT invasion, and I think this is just the beginning, and I cannot wait. Hopefully you guys liked the review. It's kind of short, but I wanted to like kind of give my opinions on it, and I really loved this. There's just a giant love letter to NXT, and I remember watching NXT when it first came out as a reality competition show. You guys remember that version of NXT? Yeah. So it came a long way, and I'm just so happy to see it like grow and blossom. And War to Collide is this week, so I cannot wait to review that as well. So hopefully you guys liked the video, and I'll see you guys next time.